How will you know if something happens to your child at school if they don't tell you? How will you know? Welcome to the Tenside Show where we discuss everything about raising engineer skills. My name is Chris, and today we'll be talking about how to teach your child to stand up for themselves at school. A few days back, or in the last episode, we talked about handling stubborn children. Today, I want to ask you, has your child ever come home from school upset about how they were treated by another child? Maybe by a group, maybe even by a teacher. And when you ask what happened, the other said nothing or told you a story that made your blood boil. Has that ever happened to you? Every child will face a moment at school where someone is unkind to them. It might be teasing, it might be exclusion, it might be a child who takes their things or says something hurtful. And in that moment, the child has to decide what to do, right? Most children who have not been prepared for these moments, they do one of two things. Either they freeze and take it, which leads to more bullying, or they explode and they overreact, and neither works well. The child who freezes, they become a target because the other kids learn that there are no consequences, and the child who explodes gets labeled as a problem, even though they were the one being mistreated. What we want is the third option, which is assertiveness. And assertiveness is different from both passivity and aggression. Assertiveness means standing your ground without attacking, using your voice clearly and calmly, setting a boundary and holding it. But the thing that most parents need to understand is that assertiveness does not come naturally to most children. It is a skill, just like reading or math, and it needs to be taught and practiced before the situation arises. So telling your child just stand up for yourself without teaching them how is like telling someone to play the piano without lessons. The intention is right. The intention is right. So here are three ways, three levels, and each level matches a different intensity of situation. Level 1 is what we call the verbal boundary. This is for everyday situations. Someone takes their pencil, someone pushes them in line, someone says something unkind. The response is a clear, that's mine, I need it back. Or I was here first. I don't like that. Please stop. Very direct, very clear. No shouting. Just a statement of fact. Most children struggle with this because they've never practiced saying these sentences out loud. They think them, but thinking and saying are different things. So the word exists in their head, but they freeze on their way to their mouth. Because even at home, they are afraid to speak up. And that is why practice at home, the home has to be that safe space. Because when they've said it, when it's encouraged at home, when the words are said 20 times at home, saying them once at school becomes possible. Level 2 is the broken record. This is for when the other child does not stop after the first boundary. Your child has said, stop, I don't like that. And the other child keeps, doing different things, keeps going. The technique is simple. Repeat the boundary, same words and same volume. I said stop, I don't like that. And again, if needed. No escalation, no new arguments, just repetition. Right? And calmly repeating the same words without escalation, it gives them nothing to work with. It's surprisingly effective. It's surprisingly effective. Most times people don't just hear. They want you to say, they want to know you're serious. Level 3, which is for your child, is to walk away and report. This is for situations where the verbal boundary is not working and things are escalating. Physical aggression, persistent harassment, group targeting. At this point, your child needs to know that walking away is not cowardice. It's strategy. So what you want to do is tell an adult, right? Tell an adult, and not because they can't handle it, but because some situations are bigger than one child. And also, it gives your child the opportunity to walk away unscathed because, if they're not trained in self-defense, which I believe that you should train your children in self-defense, the best bet for them to do is to tell an adult. But if they are trained, then they are equipped to defend themselves, right? And so it's not just assertiveness, it's about giving your child the will, right? Giving them permission to understand that they have a place. To have a place, and they have desires, and their voice matter, and what that they can defend themselves, right? Maybe you've given your child the speech, we call it the speech, where you say, if anyone touches you, tell the teacher, and your child nods at school. And then something happens at school and they don't tell the teacher. They come home and tell you instead. Right? After they've been carrying it all day. And you are angry at the situation and you think, why didn't you just say something? But they couldn't, because knowing you should speak up and being able to speak up are two completely different things. Right? So how you practice it at home is make it a game. You take their toy, they practice saying it. You say something mildly unkind, they practice saying it, they practice responding, they practice defending themselves. Put them in situations where they have to defend themselves. Take your kids to learn martial arts, take them to learn judo. Right? It's not just about talk, because the world is wicked. You have to prepare your children. You have to prepare them. Right? The right thing to do most of the time is to be responsible, don't escalate physically, don't overreact, but make sure that if somebody does that the person is not somebody that can walk free. Do not let somebody walk over your child. And the way you do that is by equipping them with assertiveness and the skill to protect themselves, if any. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. Because one thing I've learned is that if you don't equip your child, they're going to be a victim of the world. They're going to be a victim of society. And so it's your responsibility as parents. It's your responsibility to ensure that your child has these levels of assertiveness. Step 1, being very clear. Step 2, repeating the clarity. And step 3, pushing to the right authorities. But if there has been altercation, your child should be able to defend themselves. It's very important. It's very, very, very important. So I hope that this helps you. This is episode 50 of the Tensai Show. 50 episodes. We just hit 50 episodes. If you've been here from the beginning, thank you. And if you just found us, welcome. Subscribe and hit the bell. We're here every weekday to talk about how you can help your child. Thank you for staying to the end. And if this helps you, make sure you share this stream with one of your loved ones. I'll see you